Good morning. Morning, everybody. I think we're live. Hopefully you can hear me okay and see me okay. I'll just wait a couple of seconds for people to join us. Good morning, I can see people joining now. This feels a little bit strange. I had a week off last week and I've had some annual leave, so it feels a little bit odd to be here. But it is Thursday. We are back in Sedgmoor at our live Talking Cafe event. Good morning, Marilyn. How are you? How's Jack? Is he okay? Yes, we are back in Sedgmoor. It is not been very nice weather, is it? I want my annual leave entitlement back because I took a few days off thinking it would be sunny and it rained the whole time. So I didn't have much time sat in the sunshine whilst I was off work. But I'm back today. You're back with me in Sedgmoor. And today I am going to talk a little bit about children's services and families. So apologies if this isn't perhaps relevant to you, but perhaps it's information that you could take on to somebody who it would be useful for. So just wait and see if anybody else is going to join. Please let me know in the comments how you are. How have things been for you this week? Obviously we're fast approaching that 4th of July deadline for lots of things kind of coming back into action. Is everybody feeling okay about that? Does anybody need any support? Please let us know in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to get started and talk a little bit about some services that's available for children and families in Somerset. So this is quite broadly Somerset-wide knowledge. It's not specific to Sedgmoor, so hopefully it will be useful for wherever you are in the county. We are steadily approaching the summer holidays here in Somerset. 7 weeks this year, 7 weeks of potentially no childcare, on top of what have we just done, 12, 13 weeks of having the kids at home for some families. So I can fully imagine that stress levels are high. It can feel a little bit scary with some holidays approaching, I know. I'm not so scared this year because I did 10 weeks of having the children at home whilst I worked before they went back to school, so I'm not dreading it quite so much, but it's a hard time of year. Lovely but hard. So over the next few weeks here in the Talking Cafe, we're going to be focusing on lots of different ways that we can support families to survive the summer holidays, from things like looking at activities, days out. I know that West Somerset did a really good session on places to go. And we're also going to be looking at things that we can do at home, activities, cooking, craft, all those sorts of things. But today I will mainly be focusing on services that are available to you if you or your child are struggling, if you're finding things a little bit difficult. I suspect, and I know from lots of my friends that we as parents are tired, and to be going into the summer holidays tired is really difficult. It's not a good place to start. There are lots of services available to support you if you are struggling, or as I say, or if your child is struggling. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about some of those services in the hope that if you are someone that is needing some extra support, something might be useful for you. So a really good place to start, and I will, if Hannah's not around this morning, I will come back and put lots of links and comments in the comment section for you. But as I say, a really good place to start is the Young Minds website. They've got a really good parents' survival guide. Not relevant to you, sorry. I know, Marilyn, if you want to switch off, it's absolutely fine. It's not a problem at all. Yes, so parents' survival guide. It includes some really great tips for any parent who is worried about their child or their own parenting skills. And I've just pulled some of those tips just to share with you today that I thought might be helpful before we get started about some of the services. So if you think your child is unhappy or if you are worried about their behaviour, it's really easy to be hard on yourself and think that you aren't doing a good job. So here are some of the tips that Parent Survival Guide recommend if you are worried. So the first thing is with your child, making sure that they know that you love them and that you're proud of them, even when things are busy and stressful, particularly at the moment. It can feel like you're in survival mode, and your children need that hug and they need that reassuring word to know that they are doing a great job, just as you are, at surviving this pandemic. So encourage them, reassure them, let them know that you're there for them, is the first step in meeting that challenging behaviour that they might be displaying. It's really important to remember that worrying or difficult behaviour can be short-lived, so give it some time. All children, just as adults do, all children go through stages of feeling anxious or angry, and they can show this in lots and lots of different ways. For example, they might be tantruming, crying, they might not be sleeping very well, they might be fighting with their siblings, might be fighting with you. They are adapting to a huge amount of changes at the moment. It's been a really difficult 12-week for children and families. So if they are displaying challenging behaviours, it's really not surprising. But hopefully, with the support of you and your families, they will grow out of that worrying behaviour on their own. If things are really, really bad and they're really getting you down, it's really important to recognise this. Talk to someone that you trust, whether that be a friend, a family member, or a professional. Many people go on struggling with difficult situations because they feel that they should be able to cope, especially as a parent. There's this real kind of badge of honour of being able to cope, of surviving, of struggling on and not asking for help. But you deserve help, and you absolutely will get it if you ask for it. It's really important to make sure in these difficult times that you're taking some time for yourself. In reality, this might not always feel possible. You could be really busy, really exhausted, and too tired for things that will make you feel good. But even if it's running a bath, watching Netflix, or cooking a favourite dinner, it can help. Please make time for yourself. And if it gets to a point where the things that normally help you aren't helping anymore, it may be a good idea to go and visit your GP and just let them know that things are really getting on top of you. Ask for some support from your GP. They can refer you into the services that will support you. Some people worry, I know, that you will be judged if you were to go to a professional and say that you're struggling. There's a real fear that they might judge you for that, and right up to the extremes if they might take your children away. It's really, really important to know that this is, your children are only going to be taken away if they're being abused or neglected. The role of the professional is to support you, to look after your child as well as you can. There is no shame in going to a professional and asking for help. So that's your first step. I'm going to go on to talk about some resources and services that are available to you in Somerset if you are struggling and you don't know where to turn. A really good place to turn is the Somerset Choices website. There's lots and lots of information on there, from the local offer for SEND children, right up to money advice for families, educational support, and there's a really good page on parenting advice. The parenting section has been designed to help parents and carers who are looking for information, advice, and services to support them in being a parent. I will come back and share those links with you a little bit later. For further tips and general advice on specific topics such as behaviour, sleep, health and transitions, and details of local and national organisations, there's a really handy Somerset Parent and Carer Toolkit. There's also a really fantastic website in Somerset. It is cypsomersethealth.org, and that is a website that is hosted by Public Health Somerset's Children and Young People's Team to support schools, colleges, Get Set services, children's centres and the wider workforce to improve the health and well-being of children and young people in Somerset. So if you're a professional who works with families or children, that's a really good website to go and have a look at. I'm going to talk a little bit moving on to, it's very quiet this morning. Is everybody busy, hiding, not chatting? The comments are quiet and there's only a handful of people watching. You can hear me okay, can't you? I haven't just been talking for 10 minutes. with nobody being able to hear me, because that wouldn't be good. I'll keep talking because I'm sure people can come back to this and watch them at a time that's more convenient. 11 o'clock for parents and families is probably getting ready for lunch or potentially nap time. So hopefully, if you're a parent that's watching this on replay, hopefully your child was napping at 11 o'clock and you had some time to yourself. So I'm going to assume that you can hear me and I'm going to keep talking. Internet crashed. Oh, hello Hannah. I thought you were quiet. Your internet's been playing up, hasn't it? Never mind, you're here now. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So I'm going to move on about children's social care in Somerset. So children's social care aims to work with parents, carers and young people in a partnership based on respect, equality and fairness to offer support and advice before a situation reaches crisis point. So they want to hear from you before things get really bad. If you are concerned that a child may be at risk or that you are struggling yourself looking after your child, please give them a ring. The number's 0300 123 2224. They will be able to talk through your concerns with you and point you in the direct direction for support. They can support you in lots of different ways. As I say, there can be a real fear about going to children's services and asking for help, but they really do want to hear from you before things get to crisis point. So if there is anything that you are struggling in relation to your parenting or a child, it doesn't have to be your child. If you're worried about someone else's child, if you are noticing that there are children on your street that are crying for extended period of times, or they don't look very well looked after, they're maybe perhaps wearing clothes that are too small for them, or ripped clothes, dirty clothes, they're looking quite thin and well. If it's someone else's child that you are worried about, please do ring. Again, the same number, 0300 123 2224, and just talk through those concerns with children's social care. There is also a really fantastic team of health visitors in Somerset who are out there ready to support you. They recognise that family life and bringing up children is rewarding, but it can also be really challenging. It has been widely recognised that your child's early years are really important and will influence the development of future achievements. So the aim of the health visiting team is to work with you to identify areas that may be impacting on your overall health and well-being of your family. They will work with you to develop a plan of supports for you and your children so that they have the best possible start in life. They can support you with lots of different things, from infant feeding and family diet, child development, healthy weight and physical activity, and also emotional health and well-being. You can locally, Sedgmoor, there is a Bridgewater, a Highbridge and an Axbridge team. There is an email address that you can access your health visitors to speak to your GP and go through that way. Or there is a website that we will pop up in the comments that explains a little bit about the role of the health visitor and all the different numbers that you might need to use to contact the health visiting team. There is, of course, the National Child Line. They have a really fantastic website full of resources that are available to support you. You can contact them about anything. Whatever your worry, it's better out than in, and they want to support you. So you can ring the Child Line on 0800 1111. You can also, if you go to their website, you can send them an email, or you can access one-to-one counselling also. And there's also, I was having a look this morning, and they've got a really great set of message boards that are available for young people themselves. If they want an opportunity to say how they're feeling in a safe space, they can share their experiences, have fun, and they can get support from other young people in similar situations. There are message boards available for a wide range of topics, from bullying, life issues, home and school, sex and relationships, all those different things that children and young people might be struggling with. So that's a really good place to point children that perhaps need a safe space to get something off their chest. Teenagers. I'm not there yet. I've got 3 years before I've got a teenager in the house, but some days you'd think she was there already. If you are a family, a parent of a teenager, and you are worried about them, or worried about their behaviours, worried about how they're going to cope in the 6-week or 7-week summer holidays this year, then there are some really great support services for young teenagers as well. It can be really easy to forget that teenagers, as well as adults, have all sorts of stresses and strains. Being a teenager isn't easy, it isn't great for them either. Their hormones are racing, they're under pressure from friends and the media to fit in. And there is, of course, lots of growing pressure at the moment around schooling and exams and what's going to be waiting for them in September. These are just some of the issues that are going to lead to mood swings and emotional outbursts that we can commonly associate with teenagers. It can be really difficult to handle. There is a really fantastic, again, on that Somerset Choice website, is a great page about being the parent of a teenager. There is also a great leaflet on that website, really informational. It's called Teenage Years Information for Parents, so perhaps take a look at that one if it is something that you are struggling with. Young Somerset is an organisation that I have talked about before on A Talking Cafe, and I would highly recommend checking out their social media, their Facebook page. They're running regular live sessions all around different things that might be affecting your teenager, such as anxiety. They're really fantastic sessions, so check out Young Somerset if you are the parent of a teenager. And the other really great resource for teenagers is Kooth, Kooth. Kooth is an online mental wellbeing community. The access is free, safe, and you can receive anonymous support as a teenager, as a young person, if you are struggling with your mental health. So that's Kooth, is a really fantastic resource for teenagers. If you are the parent of a teenager going into the summer holidays, I wish you the best of luck. Morning, Mandy. Okay. Lovely to see you. I've had a few days off, so I haven't really had much contact with my team, and I have missed them. I'm going to spend just a little bit of time now talking about some of the headlines that Somerset are really pushing at the moment about childcare. So there are lots and lots of different things happening in Somerset relating to childcare, and so I'm just going to whiz through them so that you can perhaps find out a little bit more. Morning, Shanti from Triscombe. What's the weather like in Triscombe? It feels like it's gone really grey and dark here, and I'm not sure if it's going to rain. So childcare. There are some temporary changes that may affect you if you're applying for or already getting tax-free childcare or 30 hours funded childcare during the coronavirus pandemic. There is a Gov website where you can check if you can get tax-free childcare during the coronavirus pandemic. So have a look at that one. Parents who are usually, it's still dry in Triscombe, good, I don't think it's going to be dry here for long. So parents who are usually eligible to access 30 hours and tax-free schemes will continue to benefit from this summer term, even if your income has fallen during the coronavirus outbreak. You can check out the Childcare Choices website for more information. If you are a working parent and your child's 3rd birthday falls between the 1st of April and the 31st of August, you can apply now for a 30 hours funded place to start in September 2020. Again, we'll post the website where you can find out more about that. All 3 and 4 year olds are entitled to up to 15 hours of funded early education, and that 15 hours is spread over 38 weeks. You can find out again more on that Somerset website. There is funded childcare for eligible 2-year-olds available in Somerset. If you are on lower income and in receipt of benefits, you may qualify for up to 15 hours a week during term time. You can find more information and check your eligibility for childcare offers at www.childcarechoices.gov.uk. There's an online calculator which you can use to work out the best funding offer for you. And there is a really fantastic website in Somerset where you can find childcare providers. That one again is somersetchoices.org.uk. So that's a little bit about childcare and some of the things that you might have to think about going back into, childcare in September. Make sure you've applied for that 30 hours if you're eligible. or for the funding if you have a 2-year-old that is eligible. It is very quiet this morning. Any questions before I move on? But I haven't got that much to talk about, so I'll just finish off for the day and then I'll get back to catching up on my emails. It's always when you come back from annual leave, you have quite the stack of emails waiting for you, don't you? So I wanted to mention a resource that I thought would be helpful for any parents who are facing bullying. I know that bullying is something that can be really difficult over the summer months, 7 weeks of your child not being in school. They may not have that eyes on teacher support. Child might be going out a little bit more often with their friends to parks and local areas. If bullying is something that is affecting you, Kidscape is a parent advice line for families facing a bullying situation. You can call them on 0200 7823 5430. Give them a ring and talk through some of your concerns. Of course, the other fantastic sort of helpline that's available to you is the NSPCC helpline. Whoever you are, whatever your concern, they are there to help you and your children. If you're worried about a child or you need advice and support, you can contact the NSPCC helpline on 080 8800 5000. Barnardo's is another really great support service available for children and families across the UK. They work with organisations and professionals to ensure that children can get the best start in life. They've got a fantastic website, barnardos.org.uk. And locally we have the Somerset Phoenix Project. They provide support to children, young people and their families who are affected by childhood sexual abuse. Support and training is also offered to frontline professionals. It is a Somerset only scheme. It's delivered in partnership with SARSUS, which is Somerset and Avon Rape and Sexual Abuse Support. They have a website, www.somersetphoenixproject.org.uk, where you can find out more information. They also have a mobile number available on that website should you need support. So they're kind of all the services that I've pulled together today to talk to you about. As I say, it's been very quiet this morning, but fingers crossed you can catch this on replay. If you are a parent, a family, you have children, perhaps you're worried about their behaviours, their mental health, their well-being, or your own mental health or well-being. It's been a really difficult time for families. We are really aware that the summer holidays are going to be extra challenging this year. If you are worried about them, if you are anxious about how you're going to feed your children in the summer holidays, how you're going to keep them entertained, how you're going to look after yourself whilst looking after your family, please do get in touch with us. There are lots and lots more services which I haven't spoken to you about today, which may be able to support you. So if you are someone that is struggling, please do reach out and contact us in the usual ways, and we will ask an agent to give you a ring and talk through your concerns. The most important thing that I am going to sign off with today, it's been a really short session, it's been quiet, but that's absolutely fine. I just want to say to you that it's really, really important to remember not to be too hard on yourself and to be your own best friend. Remember, if you wouldn't say something to you or about you to your best friend, then don't say it about yourself. Having a really negative internal voice can really bring you down and make things so much harder. So please remind yourself that you are a fantastic parent. You are doing a really great job of raising your children, especially in these exceptionally hard times. But if you are someone that needs some extra support, there is no shame in asking for help. We do not have to be superheroes, though most of us are as parents, but it is okay to say when you're finding things tough and you need some help. Please reach out to us, reach out to your GP, reach out to a friend or someone else that might be able to support you and share your concerns. And that is all that I have to say today, but if there are any questions, if you're watching this on replay and you want to ask something, then please do send the Talking Cafe Facebook page a message and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, I am going to sign off and say goodbye for the day. I will see you again next Thursday, when we'll be back in Sedgmoor for the live Talking Cafe event. Really great to be with you again this morning, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.